Hello, and thank you for joining me tonight. I go by Lune, and this video is going to be a bit of energy work. If you're familiar with my channel already, you'd probably expect that, with a guided meditation and a working up to that. So we're going to focus on calming down. We're going to talk for a little bit to discuss methods that we can use to calm ourselves. I'm going to show you some stones that I recommend for dream recall and deep sleep, and just I want this to be a very comfortable and relaxing video for you. I'm going to try to move slow, make a few sounds in the earlier part of the video, and move into a soft spoken, not quite whisper, but hopefully something that you find relaxing and that lulls you to sleep. In terms of the energy work we're going to be doing, this is, you could say Reiki. I think it would fall under the realm of Reiki for sure, but I'm not going to be focusing necessarily on going into like the chakras. I'm not going to be working deep within your energetic system. This is more of a like energy cleansing for your aura, and I'm going to be working with this or playing in these waves. So I want this like wave of relaxation to reach you and just wash over you as we're doing the session later on, and the guided meditation will kind of go along with that. I've already got a candle burning, as you can see, but let's start here. This is a beeswax candle that I am actually going to be offering in my shop this coming Friday in these kind of ritual kits, which I'll explain more about. I'm not trying to sell them to you right now, I'm just mentioning it because if you see the stuff on top, I've dressed these candles. This one has rose quartz and lovage, which brings love draws love to a person. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic or with a partner, though it certainly can be used in that way. But this is just for my intention, just love, gratitude, warmth, and comfort, and a beautiful energy that can be used in many different ways. I love beeswax candles. They are so pure and cleansing. So I'm just going to set an intention for this energy to reach you at the perfect time and be a complete stress reliever, to induce deep, restorative, relaxing, well obviously, but deep sleep, as well as dream recall, if you'd like to include that into your intention. Lucid dreaming, if you would like. I want this to be kind of a open invitation for you to ask what you'd like. If you would like to contact your ancestors, if you would like to gain some clarity on a situation, please include that now. Or you can leave an invitation for your higher self to allow what is meant to be, or what you might be best served by, to happen through your sleep. All for the highest and greatest good, in perfect comfort and alignment. So, I have a abalone shell for a sacred ashtray of sorts to hold the smudge offerings and sacred smudges. Here's my joint looking incense you may have seen in a previous video. So I'm just going to light this to clear our space. This is a rope incense. It smells a bit like, people say it smells, it's hard to place. Most of us cannot place this. To me it smells like a body. I know it sounds incredibly bizarre and kind of gross, but there's a certain type of, I want to say, pheromone or smell that, I don't know, it's so hard to place, but I'm making a mess out of this describing this to you, but it smells spicy, it smells masculine, it smells like a guy, it smells like a guy. I don't know a better way to say it. Not to say women couldn't smell like this, but this reminds me of like a very masculine smell and like a street or a past life of like being in a temple or hot place. I know that's like very difficult. I'm sorry for messing that up for you guys if you're ruined by my interpretation here. But I love it. I can't tell you how much I love it. So just gonna spray this or wave this around. Cleanse our space. I'm just gonna set it on this palo here so it will keep burning. Oh my god, it smells so good. So I'm gonna actually move to crystals now. I love that stuff. So the first I'm gonna bring out is red jasper. I would focus on this, but there's really not that much to see. Like, as much detail as you can see here is what you will see up close. It's a raw piece of red jasper, and it would be a bit brighter, a bit more vibrant if it was wet. Let's see if I have any spray. Oh, I do. So I'll wet it for you. Do my best to keep my motions fairly slow. And catch myself if I begin speeding up. Okay. So I will wet this stone so you can see that. See if any markings come out. Alright, so it's very dark red, and not to criticize it, I love this stone so much, that's why I brought it out, but it's not really all that much to look at right now. But that's the red jasper. It's great for dream recall, for deep sleep, and one of my go-tos all the time. I absolutely love red, specifically red brachiated jaspers. One of my very favorite stones to work with. While I have you here, I'll show you the next one, which is an amethyst. It's a nice chunky raw piece that I got from Monk and Moon. Amethyst is very relaxing. Good for your spiritual connection, to balance the crown chakra, which helps us to reach the astral dimensions, if that's what you're looking for in your dream or lucid dreaming. Building a simple little grid right here. The next next stone is actually a gift from Andre. It's a really beautiful piece of aquamarine. Maybe even, I don't know if you call this a twin, but there's certainly two primary pieces to this piece of aquamarine. And what I love about it is this, try to get the light to hit it right. It has these little formations here. Oh, I'm sorry about my nails. I've been playing outside a lot and being in the dirt, so forgive me. But it has these little like steps, and it makes me think of the steps that we're taking in our life, steps to ascension or just personal growth, personal discovery, improvement, higher awareness. Oh, there you can see them. Oh my god, they're so pretty. I love aquamarine. Andre was very generous to send this to me when he heard I had none. And it's so funny because in the same time frame, I ordered a little tumbled one for myself from Monk and Moon, and Maxwell, the owner, actually sent me another really beautiful piece of aquamarine. So I've got myself quite a little collection going now. It's like these little kind of steps. But I brought this out for its peaceful nature. It's very, very calming. I've been wearing one around my neck very often and find myself communicating so much more easily, balancing my thoughts as well. So that's why I brought this out for you guys today. My last one I've actually used in a couple videos. I think it's gorgeous, and I just honestly, I wasn't even going to include it, but I keep it by my bed or I snuggle with it a lot. I'm just really drawn to holding the stone and bringing it everywhere. This is purple angelite, and it's of the most stunning stones I've ever seen. It looks like a really fancy type of lepidolite, but it's not. And you can see these like the stone is smooth and it has these like little cities inside of it. Just gorgeous. Because I want this video to be quite relaxing for you. You may see me edit some parts if a car goes by or my dog barks or something, so purple angelite, also from Monk and Moon. One day I'll tell you about that relationship and how it formed, but I can tell you that it's not sponsored in any way. I just have been a patron of Monk and Moon. I suggest them all the time because people ask me for crystal store recommendations, and I'm not a crystal store, so I send them where I shop, and that is primarily where I shop. Although I will say I certainly shop at many more places. And there's a fellow YouTuber who has, Queen of Serene, I believe, does, but also Mystic Autumn has an Etsy shop, which I've purchased some beautiful dambrite from and some other things that I'm going to make into talisman. But alright, so this next one is a bit risky for me. I'm going to move the microphone back here. But I thought that this might make a beautiful sound for you. It makes a incredible sound for me. It sounds like shells or water, even though they are seeds. I don't want this to be too loud. really cool. It's a seed rattle, seed instrument. And I use this for my shamanic practice primarily. It's great for breaking up energy, but it can be very, very loud, which I'm trying to avoid. Though at the same time, there's a softness to it. In ASMR videos, I love when people play with fabric, so even though this is a string, hopefully you get that vibe. Alright, so since I have my spray out, and since most people like the sound of water or liquid, and I want this video to have a bit of a fluid vibe to it anyway. As I spray, you could picture almost as if when it hits your aura, it's kind of like bubbly, like kind of like hydrogen peroxide, but not stingy or anything like that, but just a little like fizz. You could take a deep breath. Alright, so before our guided meditation here, before we begin this session, I'm going to charge this bowl. With energy, and we're going to just do a little sound bath first. So this intention is for these sound waves to begin the initiation of these energetic waves that I would love to send to you for deep relaxation. Help you connect with the energy itself. Many of us are very open to understanding sound as a vibration and therefore as an energy of sorts, or as a method that energy is released or is carried on or carried out. So if you don't know about all this stuff, Reiki and energy work, just check out a sound bath. It's really a good way to kind of see how you feel and be a little more comfortable with the process, because, you know, sound is obviously quite relaxing to most of us. Alright. So now that this is charged, I'm just going to scooch my recorder back again. Just gently hit this for you. And again, we want it to be like this wave washing over you. I'm just going to hit it 9 times. So 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. And I chose 9 as it's the number of completion. I like the idea of feeling that the day has been completed and now it's time to rest, rebuild, restore, grow, develop, expand, all of it. It's a nice process to connect with the idea of completion, I think, on not necessarily a daily basis if you're not guided to, but as you feel drawn to it, as a phase has ended, as a negative, an uncomfortable phase or a very beautiful period of growth kind of comes to a plateau, and now it's time to rebuild on this stable level that we've created for ourselves, or that we have seen ourselves grow into. And that's what this is. It is a time for you to be comfortable, to release the day, to invite your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul, your higher self to work together to heal you, to transcend, to evolve, to advance. Anything that we're ready for, we're moving on, we're always moving on. So this is not to force anything if it's not ready, but it's to assist with that process, but also just for rest, just for comfort, just for relaxation. As simple as that can be, it's very powerful on its own. So if that's where you are, bless. Alright, so I'd like you to close your eyes, please, or, just relax them. Don't worry too much about what I'm doing if you can. I'd like you to validate the fact that this is your time. This is the time for you to sleep. This is the time for your body to relax and heal, regenerate, all the things we've just talked about. That there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing that worry will solve at this point, so there's just not to do it. Sometimes the best thing we can do if we are searching for some kind of answer or some kind of thing we need to resolve or someone we're worried about, something we're trying to understand, is to just give it some space, give it a break, and that clarity comes from allowing things to breathe. So take a deep breath and just relax into your bed or wherever you're laying. Feel yourself supported by whatever you're lying on. And begin to close your eyes if you have not already. Picture yourself standing on a beach, perhaps a beach you've seen before, or perhaps one that is very new to you. It might be a lagoon, or a lake, or a somewhat still ocean, maybe like what you find in Miami, or I don't know, some place like that where the water is and the ocean is very accessible. The water looks very safe and inviting and clear, somewhat still, with small waves and gentle movements. Take off your shoes and begin to walk across the sand. You get right to the shoreline. You sit down right as the water is kind of coming up in these little waves. Stare off into the distance. Appreciate the way the light hits the water. Any birds that might be flying by. You might have some friends or loved ones with you, maybe a pet or totem, maybe someone you haven't met before, like your future partner or your future child. And you just look at them, send them some love, and you both look back, returning to the beautiful horizon. You begin to feel a bit sleepy and very relaxed as the wind blows through your hair. The water is warm, the breeze is warm. And although you're sitting in the water, you lay down and the waves come up very gently around your head and retreat down to your feet and come up, and just these little waves, little playful waves. They keep coming. tide begins to rise, and you just begin floating on the water. You're not nervous, you feel perfectly safe. Feel trusting of yourself and your ability to float. And as you float along this beautiful water, you decide to dive down to the bottom, which is not very far, maybe 10 feet at the most. It's quite shallow. You just want to have a look around. You swim down to the bottom of the water, the lake or the lagoon or the ocean, the river. And there you can see some fish swimming by, maybe a coral reef, maybe just some urchin along the bottom or starfish, sea stars. And you watch them do their thing. You move slowly. And you have this almost vantage point where you can see what's going on and the little bits of dynamic between the crabs and the sea stars, or the shrimp and the shells, scallops, clams. And it's peaceful and interesting. Just kind of gives you this perspective of there being so much more to the world than what we fill our minds with. That things are much more complicated, yet much more simple than they seem. And the point is just to have your experience and make it work for you. To have growth. To focus on what makes you happy. To focus on what brings you joy. Your personal mission of sorts. Your needs. Your relationships. And in a way that you are completely true to yourself. And the experience is fairly easy. It is something for us to understand at this point, here, watching the underwater life take place, that we complicate things at times, that we create or allow blockages to form. Create difficulty. We don't allow things to work out because we kind of create these worst case scenarios or all the reasons why they might not. So, as you think about this here at the bottom of the water, make a decision to release those thoughts, those blockages, those complications from your life, so that you can heal, you can love, you can receive love, you can be abundant, healthy, empowered, encouraging, generous, kind, spiritual, so you can accomplish what you want can carry with you all the good and leave behind that which weighs you down or prevents those things from happening. As you make this realization, you let out a big under the water, and it's almost as if you've exhaled smoke, and these smoky bubbles from your exhale rise to the top. You can watch them. You feel like you need to do it again, so you take another exhalation. And you do it as many times as you feel necessary. It almost looks like ink in water released from you. You look along the bed of the water, the floor, and swim down and pick up a special stone. One that speaks to you for either its shape, its texture, its color, or any other reason that you feel drawn to it. You take this stone and swim to the top and swim back to the shoreline. When you reach the shoreline, you come out of the water, go to your towel or a chair, just sit, continue to relax on the beach. So, this is when I come to visit you in a way. As odd as that sounds, on an energetic level, that's where we're going to play. So as you're sitting in your chair on the beach, this is when we begin our energetic session. I'm going to use some Reiki symbols for calming, emotional stability, relaxing, soothing. I'm going to use the master symbol to empower you and to heal, activate, connect with your ultimate higher self, your highest intelligence. I'm going to focus to create a glow or a cloud around you. Surround your aura. It begins to react with your aura, where your aura takes on this gorgeous color blue, which is so relaxing, calming. It's doing very gentle work for you. Breathe so easily. It almost feels like if you had fur, your fur was being brushed all over your body, around your head. This gentle combing within your etheric body, which feels so soothing and relaxing. Down your neck, your shoulders, down your back, your arms, torso, hips, down your legs, to your feet. Now we're going to focus on the same pattern, but in a wave. It's going to wash down your head to your feet. So just this slow wave coming in, cleansing your etheric body, stabilizing, bringing harmony. And we're going to focus to change the color from a blue slowly to a pink. So first, to meet in the middle, it will become a violet color, and lavender, until we reach a soft pink. And this pink energy is here for you to use in any way you see fit, for love, for health, for luck, for advancement, for healing. Absolutely any way you want to use it. It will be with you all day tomorrow to create a beautiful thing for you in whatever way that you choose. I think it's a good idea to give a little freedom, because sometimes there are things that we don't know exactly how they'll reach us or what necessarily is best for us. So if you want to give it that freedom, you can. Or you can, if you're working towards something or very hopeful for something, please, use that if you feel driven to. So these waves are just coming at you. It's so relaxing. You feel wrapped in a cocoon of love and comfort and resources, completely in harmony and balance with yourself, with your heart, with your purpose, with your potential. You've got your lucky stone now with you to remind you of your abilities, and that we can always add something better when we have a negative thought, an uncomfortable thought playing through our mind, or a habit of complaining or gossiping or anything. There's always something better we can do, and that will serve us. So we're just going to end this with some very gentle singing bowl, and I hope you sleep very well. My heart, as always, namaste.